Cancer sun, I feel what you don't say. Scorpio moon, I see through the gray. I'm tuned to your soul, I read the unseen. 8th house mind, 12th house dreams. Tarot in my hands, planets in my sight. I decode the dark, turn shadow to light. Every chart's a mirror, every transit.
Hello, you guys. Welcome. It is me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Oh my gosh, I forgot to turn on my background light. That irks me, but you guys don't care. This week, okay, yesterday, Mercury started retrograding in Scorpio. It's been retrograding, so you're fine, but now it's in Scorpio. Traveling may be a little bit better. We don't know. We'll see how that goes. Um, um, Sagittarius retrograding Scorpio. That's more traveling and abroad. And now we are moving into a different part of our chart if we are talking about personally, but collectively we are getting deep. We're getting into the investigations. The secrets will come out. Okay. We have a new moon in Scorpio today. I'll tell you the time exactly. It's going to be in the evening. We have Mercury. I said Mercury retrograding. Now, all of these things are creating a kite. I'll explain, but it involves Uranus, a lot of themes of expected, unexpected surprises, okay? And if that wasn't enough, next week, Monday, we have Venus and Mercury conjunct in Scorpio. A lot of intensity when it comes to relationships, okay? So if you guys are ready, let's get started.
Oh, Danyell, Carmelita, oh, can't you see? The stars align, just come to me. Tarot and cosmos, your fate's inside. Danyell, Carmelita, shining bright.
Okay, so let me pull up the chart. You guys can see it. We are going to start actually with the 18th, which was yesterday. I am filming this live on the 19th, but Mercury is going to retrograde all the way. I've discussed this already in previous videos, but Mercury will retrograde all the way until the 29th of November. Okay, 28th, 29th. Okay, but I have the exact dates in previous videos, so go ahead and check that out. I actually have the dates here. Mercury will, oh, that's not November, those are October dates. Never the mind, okay? But Mercury will stop retrograding on the 28th, but it will still be in a post shadow phase. So give it like a week or two before it fully clears out. But when you have Mercury retrograding in the sign Scorpio, okay, now you are talking about a lot of shifts in secrets, okay, a lot of shifts in the energy, a lot of investigations, a lot of secrets, things that were held in the dark that was very mysterious is now going to be up to review again. Epstein, again, all that, anything that is dealing with taboo topics. You're talking about the porn industry, intercourse, sex, anything that you consider a taboo subject. It's going to come back. It was hidden, the skeletons in the closet. Okay. Intuition gets a little sharpened here. Okay. Everyone's like, that quite doesn't feel right. And that becomes better. A lot of emotional conversations are going to return. If you were trying to not address it, now it's going to be addressed. Now, anything dealing, because Mercury deals with all things written, all things in a form of communication, text messages. And when you have it in Scorpio, you are dealing with contracts that could be dealing with taboo topics or things that you were trying to keep a secret. Now you have to sign it. Also, to Scorpio is things that we shared resources. So like taxes, our bills, our loan, our inheritance, joint finances. You probably will have to sign a contract on that, or you're discussing that on email, all that. So just be aware of that and read the fine print. You might be getting jute. What is the word? Whatever. People might be trying to con you. So just be aware of that, or trying to have control. Scorpio is very controlling energy. So be aware of control. Now, also too, this is transformation between for any with any information that is dealing with the art of communication. Okay. Now Mercury is also in charge of driving. So anything driving could Scorpio represents rebirth, so there could be a transformation in the form of driving. Just be aware of that. Now, don't jump to any conclusions. Double check all your finances. And when I say transformation and rebirth, someone could pass away and then now you're giving birth at the same time in a car accident. So everyone just drive safely. I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. I'm just telling you what it means collectively. Also to Scorpio, transformation, rebirth, taboo, things that are hidden, very mysterious. It's a very dark energy. That's why we have Halloween, a lot of jump scares kind of energy. So just be aware of that. Power control too. But Mercury's retrograding, so these are conversations from the past. If you are a Scorpio, people might be calling you. People from the past, oh, it never shocks me. Okay, so don't jump to conclusions. Double check anything financially. Pay attention to what people don't say because it's your intuition. Expect clarity when Mercury goes direct in Scorpio because it's going to repeat these things. Look where your Scorpio sits in your chart. For example, in this chart here that you guys, can you see it? Yeah. So in this chart here, if you are an Aquarius rising, Scorpio is in your 10th house. So these are things dealing with your reputation and your career. And now a lot of secrets are coming out in that, a lot of revelations with that. Okay. So yeah, that is what we have. And we left Sagittarius where it gave the story. Everything was on, because Sagittarius likes to publicize everything. And now there is going to be revealing of the story of the truth. Okay. Now, if we move to today, we have the new moon, and the new moon exactly is going to be at 10:47 p.m. I live in California, so 10:47 p.m. California time is going to be at 28 degrees. Actually, let me pull up this chart. 28 degrees. Here's our new moon. It's got a lot going on here, you guys. Okay, so the new moon is at 28 degrees. That's a Cancer degree. That's a water degree. Cancer represents the past, your mom, security, and safety. A lot of emotions, a lot of intuitions, and empathy, right? So you have that already added to this new moon of Scorpio. I'll talk about Scorpio in a minute, but it's also conjunct Mercury at 28 degrees exactly. Again, this is traveling. This is day-to-day travel. This is also commerce, you doing trade. Mercury is also in charge of pranks. So just so you know, new moons are positive. They're not negative. And it does have a lot of positive aspects because it's in the kite. So it's got a positive aspect with this conjunction here, Neptune and Saturn that's in Pisces. It has a positive aspect with Jupiter, which is a very benefic planet. All of these planets are retrograding, by the way. Now this is the doozy. It's opposing Uranus, which is also in charge of flights and also in charge of airplanes of some sort, but also in communication and highly intelligence and AI. Okay. Now this is the issue. This doozy right here. Okay. But if we're talking about this new moon as a whole, it's not subtle because it's Scorpio. It's not gentle. It's about revealing some things, releasing some things, giving rebirth to something. Every time there's a new moon, there is a new cycle. So this is an introduction of a new cycle. Okay. Now the sun always highlights things. Okay. And the sun represents masculine energy and the father, and the moon represents feminine energy and the mother. So this also could be something that is could be brought to your attention in the elements of Scorpio that is secretive or controlling. But this is a new chapter, maybe a new chapter that's trying to control you, or there's secrecy, or there's finances, or you become more aware of things that are very mysterious, or there's an emotional entanglement. This is based around, there's a reset around the truth. Okay. And the illusions are going to be lifted because you see, it's positive with these illusions. There is a heavy load or a weight with the illusions, but you can see through them. You're aware of them. Okay. This reveals motivations, loyalties, and any type of hidden behavior. This is also because you have this conjunction with Mercury, is going to reveal the truth. There is going to be intense conversations. There could be some paperwork and details that you may not want to deal with. There could be something dealing with some financial records, emotional secrets, some past decisions that come up for review. We have this opposition, so there could be something shocking, a shocking conversation, or a shocking confession. But old conversations resurfacing. There's some evidence. There's some receipts. That's resurfacing. That's brought up. People exposing themselves and their true intentions, reevaluating anything dealing with intimacy, money, trust, or power dynamics. Also, right now, since it's positive with these water signs, Jupiter, it expands everything. It's in the sign Cancer, so it's reviewing emotional security, family things, real estate, your physical home, even your nation where you live, protection, food and safety, because it wants that security, Cancer. So there could be some emotional breakthroughs in that department and some awareness happening with this new cycle with the moon. Now it's trine Neptune conjunct Saturn. They're both retrograding. Again, this is huge. This is a repeating and redoing. Maybe the spiritual truth, maybe the real world is accountable. There's compassion added to this new moon. Saturn retrograding in Pisces is karmic boundaries, consequences, lessons, your karma. I said karma, spiritual maturity. Neptune retrograding in Pisces is delusions of dissolving illusions, because when it's retrograding, we see clearly through the fog. When it's not retrograding, there is fog. So there's exposing some fantasies and spiritual clarity, a reality check around dreams and disillusion, dissolving something that's toxic. Pisces represents addictions. Okay, it represents things that you want behind the scenes, things that you want hidden. You know, it's about the secret enemies, and all that could be lifted. Emotional and spiritual closure. And being accountable and having collective healing. Now, this is the issue here, okay? Every time there's a kite, I find that everything works together, and then bam, this is the big trigger. And you need to have harmony between Uranus, which is expect the unexpected, and your emotions and your egos, which is sitting here with that new moon, and Mercury, even discussing it, okay? So I believe with this, there's going to be some unexpected news. Taurus is what we value, finances, banks, stocks. This is probably not the time, or maybe there will be a revelation on the money and what you value. Financial instability, sudden breakthroughs, abrupt shifts in values, resources, and relationships. There could be something dealing with, it's definitely a surprise, okay? Uranus is always expected unexpected, and it's going to 29 degrees too. I didn't even discuss that, is an urgency degree. So this is a big deal. This is happening tonight. Mercury moves fast. The new moon will happen tonight. It's happening at 28 degrees, but still that 29-degree urgency is something big. Let me see what else I have. Expect the unexpected, something new, something dealing with intelligence, something dealing with the future, AI, technology, that Elon Musk energy. Now, when we have Uranus and Taurus, this is when we have I'm trying to think. Issues with crypto, stocks. Uranus wants the traditions to move forward. Also, issues with farmland, all that, whatever we deem valuable, even the voice and the throat. Okay. Major emotional and political truth surfaces, financial or resources related to the banks that could be happening, emotional outbursts or collective awakenings. Uranus is about protesting too. So, like rebelling and being for the people. Scandals or leaks could be happening, breakthroughs around injustice, being accountable. So let's see what happens. These both Scorpio and Taurus are financial, money, and finances. Okay. So that's what we have with this new moon. It's positive, but we are dealing with something that is a change, and a change you don't want, and you need to have a balance between that. There's something new, and you're like, I don't want this newness. Well, there needs to be a balance. Or there's something that is going to be a breakthrough or something unexpected, and you need to release and let go and let God. Okay. So that is what we have with this new moon. It's something dealing with the past, but there is an ultimate transformation. There's some hidden truths revealed. There's a lot of power realignment, deep emotional reset. Again, joint money, finances, debt that you owe, taxes, loans, anything that's merged financially, investments. All this is going to be a new beginning, because we have this new moon. Contracts, and this could be dealing with something that's very highly intelligent with that Uranus opposing on the opposite side. Shocking news, mental clarity. Just know even the future. Okay, now on November 20th, we have let me remove this. And November 20th, let me see what we have here. What do I have in here? Mercury retrograde. Okay, so now Mercury is going to Mercury is still is it conjunct? Oh, it's a Cazimi. Okay, so on the 20th we have a Cazimi between these two, which is really with that new moon. I wrote my notes really fast. So the new moon is also dealing with a Cazimi, meaning there's clarity and awareness. So not only do we have this opposing Uranus energy, but when the new moon, whenever Mercury retrogrades, it always hits the sun. And when it retrogrades, there's all these delays and confusion, and you can't talk clearly. The mind cannot organize things clearly. But now there is going to be an awareness. And when you have a Cazimi with Scorpio, psychology, getting help, getting healing, investigative skills, transformation, revealing anything, all that comes up. So I want you to understand with this new moon, we have the Cazimi at the same time, and the emotions are involved, and the sun is involved, and it's highlighting something big in the news tonight. Let's see what we have. Okay. Any secrets, any emotion, any motives, loyalty, intimacy, power dynamics, confessions, there's breakthroughs, realizations, a lot of truth bombs happening, exposure of hidden information. So if you guys want to know, if you want to know the tea, okay, but just know that Uranus is acting up on the opposite side, so it could be something that you're quite like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So just be aware of that, but follow your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams tonight, psychic insights, any symbolic messages. If you remember something all of a sudden, because we have that Jupiter in Cancer is bringing up the past, just know that all that is very positive. Now, also too, did I have anything else on the 20th? Hold on, let me see. Make sure on the 20th. Yeah, okay, that's all I have. On the 21st, the sun is opposing Uranus. Exactly. It will hit 29 degrees. And let me actually put this here. Okay, so the sun will hit 29 degrees exactly. Again, this is something that the sun is going to highlight something big, and it's an urgency. There's a closure, there's an ending of it. The sun will be having this kite that I talked about earlier, but now the moon isn't involved. It's not about the emotions, it's more about your ego and your pride in a leader. It could even represent the president. And I did a video on him, so just so you know. But again, this is power control. This is a rebirth that you cannot avoid. And when you have it opposing that Uranus, there's a shock, there's a disruption, there's a breakthrough, there's an awakening. Also, this too could be everyone protesting about something dealing with finances or what they deem valuable and resources. You know, people are losing their jobs, they're laid off. So this could bring something big that can happen on this week. This is a collective energy. It could be already rumbling. I don't pay attention to the news that much, but a major emotional or political truth could be resurfacing. Finances, resources, there could be a shift in the system, emotional and spiritual breakthroughs, karmic endings. You are talking about rebirth. You are talking about karma because you have Saturn involved here. So just be aware of that. Yeah. So that is what I have. I just want to reiterate that the sun will still be sitting there, and the moon will be moving in Sagittarius, and the moon and the people will be more about the bigger picture and being optimistic. So that is positive. Now on the 22nd, which is my husband's birthday. Oh, I didn't talk about the sun. Happy solar return to all of my Sagittarius. Okay. Happy solar return to you guys. That happens on the 21st of November. And then we have Mercury is still retrograding, but now it's going to really hit that Neptune. And I just want you to know this is discussions about long term, thinking about long term, and it's repeated. There's lessons, there's karma, even like a mentor, an elder of some sort that could be involving. But that Mercury is starting to have that kite here, not starting, it has that kite. It's starting to, well, it was already opposing, but it has this kite directly. So the emotions, it's a water kite. Water is all about your emotions, it's about relationships, it's about what you feel, it's not about what the words are. So when you have a water kite, you could be dealing with family and relationships and love and emotions and things that are dealing with the past, things are dealing with secrets and motives and hidden, and getting therapy for it, right? Lies versus truth, illusions versus reality, spiritual lessons, karmic lessons. But you still have that unexpected event happening here it's leaving it. So I'm thinking things are going to be more intuitive for the collective, and it's going to be a flow. There's going to be things that just land on your lap. You're going to be able to have your tarot reading and it all makes sense. Okay. Yeah, but this is very intuitive. This is very spiritual. This is connected to God, religion, spirituality, what you really feel, and feeling this and feeling motivated, not motivated, but feeling spiritually inspired, right? And there's love and compassion, and even all that could be coming to the forefront. Get ready for this week, okay? Now, lastly, on the 24th of November, we have Mars that's going to square. Where's my Mars? We haven't had much going on with Mars here, but now it is starting to square. Well, not starting. It squares the North Node, both of the nodes, the past, the future, what we're supposed to be releasing, what we're supposed to be learning, destiny. There's tension there. There's spiritual redirection. It's actions versus surrendering. Mars in Sagittarius is very fast, it's very bold, it's very impulsive, it likes action, it likes adventure, very passionate, and there's conviction here. Right now, the North Node in Pisces is about karmic, feeling, emotion, spirituality, intuition, and having a redirection. It's about having compassion for others and sacrificing yourself for others, and even endings. And now it's squaring that. And this is supposed to be your destiny, your future. There could be friction of what you want to do versus what your soul is telling you to do. What are the signs telling you to do? Also, too, you have it squaring the past. So there's something from your past and it's causing you an issue when it comes to your motivation and obtaining something. And you need to understand that there's a flow to life, regardless of what you're trying to do. If you're trying to physically, and maybe you could be overly optimistic with that Saturn, but there needs to be an understanding that God has a flow to life. So you have to do that. You have to slow down. You must trust the universe, and maybe it's not ready, but there's something from your past. There's an issue there, and it could be something in the details or something with your health, and then there's something with your future. And it could be very serious because you got Saturn sitting close there, but there's something with your future, and it's dealing with compassion and healing and releasing. Maybe you have to forgive. Okay. So also to this day, we have Mercury and Venus sitting next to each other. And this is about love and truth and intimacy. And it could be revealed. Some secrets could be revealed. Emotional confessions. Venus is about our finances again. So this could be something dealing with finances and joint ventures, what we naturally attract far as money. But Venus is about relationships, money, self-worth, beauty. Mercury retrograding are the messages coming back from us, something from the past. It's about the truth resurfacing. It's about therapy, getting therapy. Maybe couples counseling will be happening here. Yeah, anything dealing with old wounds. You have Scorpio, it wants the deep intensity and it wants the truth. It wants psychology. It wants to reveal the secrets. It wants power. And together you have emotional intensity, deep conversations, and a lot of revelations. So things dealing with love, there's confessions, there's deep talks, there's therapy again. Maybe there's financial and intimacy matters, and it's being resurfaced and it's coming up again because you ignored it. Old lovers from the past definitely are going to be calling the Scorpio, so get ready for that. This aspect, when you have a conjunction, it's strong, okay, but it could be good or bad. So either you're getting a therapy or maybe someone's trying to control you in a relationship. Okay, now this does not work with any of the fixed signs. So if you have any personal planets in Aquarius, if you have any personal planets in Taurus, it's supposing you there's opposition, you can't see eye to eye. If you have any planets in Leo, you guys, any personal planets or any planets, and it hits directly around 20 something degrees, you're going to be affected by this. You're going to have these deep conversations and it doesn't get along. You don't like the change. You don't like what it's coming. Be honest about what you truly feel. Don't obsess, because Scorpio is an obsession. Someone could be trying to, someone's obsessed with you. They're following you. They're addicted to looking at your social media. Be aware of that. And you maybe need to not be obsessed with people. Okay. Let conversations unfold naturally. Look at the relationship patterns and don't have fear towards it. Okay. Revisit intimacy, boundaries, love language, and emotional truths. Okay. And emotional needs. So that is what we have for the week. Let me pull some cards for you guys and see what we have. What do we have for the new moon in Scorpio? We have the Judgment card. Ooh, very Scorpio energy, by the way. The Judgment card is all about it's Pluto energy. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, but it's about the final decision. It's about an awakening. It's about a wake up call. I said awakening, a wake up call, the inner calling. What is your life purpose? Bearing it all and really being honest and being truthful. Yeah, and God is calling you to do something. And with this new moon, and you need to have awareness. Retrograding. We have the star card in reverse. Ooh, the star card is a very healing card. The star card brings hope, but it could be inner hope. There could be something that you are not being honest about, because in a regular an emperor in reverse, stop trying to control things. Let it go. Let go of the ego. Okay. I told you, you got to have faith and you have to let God, you got to release. Maybe there's some poor planning there happening too. What else do we have overall this week? What we have for you, if you want to talk about love. Okay. As far as the love department, again, the cards in reverse. A lot of planets are retrograding. We have the Magician. Magician is the card that represents Mercury. So a lot of repeated conversations happening for you. A lot of manipulation. Deceptions and illusions, but just like not having the conversations that you need to have in the love department, because this is someone who wants to manifest and someone who really wants to communicate. Don't avoid communication in the love department. Whereas the finances, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Again, a lot of Mercury is going to conjunct Venus, and Mercury is retrograding, and Mercury is a part of that commerce and trade. So be aware when you're shopping. A lot of holiday deals, but maybe slow it down. But when you have the Two of Cups in reverse, this could be like a breakup with something that you're dealing with financially. Maybe you have because this card is about the emotions too. So there's emotions involved when it comes to your finances, and it's not seeing eye to eye. There isn't a connection. You guys don't value the same thing. It's like your money is not valuing what you truly value. So make sure your finances are in line with your true value system. Okay. And also too, you could be withdrawn and disinterested with something dealing with finances. Did I do everything? Let's do spirituality. For us, we have the King of Pentacles. Spiritually, everyone needs to stay grounded. Everyone needs to be practical. You need to think about the things that are tangible and realistic. Things are very la la land, and you feel it. But let's stay grounded. Let's talk to people who have a lot of earth energy, who are very realistic. Yeah, practical leader energy is what you get with the King of Pentacles, and also to being realistic. And what else do we have? Yeah, someone who's just reliable and safe, and you want to practice some responsibility when it comes to your spirituality. Okay, so that is what we have this week. I hope you guys have a nice week. Stay safe, drive slow, read the details before you sign anything, because Mercury is retrograding, and we can expect a lot of surprises this week. All right, I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.